So I just saw the new Superman movie, and I really liked it. I've been hyping this movie up for a few years now, and I've been pretty eagerly anticipating it, so I'm really happy that I enjoyed it as much as I did. Obviously, there is some recency bias. I did just see it after all, but for what I wanted, which was a bright and kind of hopeful Superman movie by James Gunn, I kind of got exactly what I wanted. I do have some kind of minor problems that I'll get into later, but for now I'll start with some more of my less spoilery thoughts, and then we'll move into a bit more of a spoiler discussion. More importantly than anything else, I really think that this movie gets Superman. It understands his values and his humanity that could really easily be lost in the hands of somebody else running the ship. There was a few moments throughout that really sold this portrayal of the character to me. Two in particular, one being in the first 5 minutes. He recovers from a fight and then he jumps out of his chair and said, "Golly." I thought that was adorable. And the other, there's a big fight with a kaiju monster that's shown in the trailer, so it's not exactly a spoiler, but they have a scene of him swooping in to save a little squirrel. And I thought that was incredibly Superman, both of those moments, the Boy Scout energy and the saving life at any cost. David Corenswet himself has a great energy to this role that I really don't think I've seen in very much other Superman media, although I'm not going to say I'm the most well-versed. And I think he totally sells it. I can't imagine somebody not at the very least liking the charm that he gives off. There's so many scenes where I just found him so charming and fun and likable. I do wish that we got to explore a bit more of the Clark Kent side of Superman. There's so many action scenes and scenes built around Superman, but Clark Kent himself, his human persona, is really only in a couple scenes, and you definitely get his role established in this, but I would have liked if he, as well as the rest of the non-Lois Lane Daily Planet crew, were expanded a bit. I think that really could have helped. I'm not gonna get into it, but the Daily Planet crew kind of has this odd role in the climax that makes sense and is very important, but I couldn't help but feel that it was kind of off to me. And I wonder if giving the movie an extra, let's say 15 minutes, develop those characters even just a little bit more, give Clark Kent a bit more, adding some more to the first act. This movie just starts straight into the action. I think you could have also developed the main conflict of this movie a little bit better at the opening. It needs like just a short scene. There's text at the beginning that helps, but it is not perfect. Speaking of Daily Planet stuff, though, another main character who I really liked the portrayal of was Lois Lane, as previously mentioned. She's definitely a fun character despite not being superpowered at all. Really fun, very like comic booky in its portrayal. It could have come across as annoying, I guess, and maybe it did to some. I didn't really think so. I think she had a strong perspective, and Rachel Brosnahan's performance really gave it a sense of depth. The total highlight of her, though, I think is definitely her dynamic with Superman. She and Corenswet have great chemistry. Even though their romance is a bit more rocky in this, it's still developing. There's this long interview scene with them. Totally, you watch that and you're like, great, I get their relationship instantly. I get why they're at this point. One of the best directed scenes in the movie. Although, if I were to say who my favorite true performance in the movie was, Lex Luthor won my heart. He is so incredibly angry and calculating. He contrasts that bright idealism of Superman really well by just being angry. He gets a great monologue. Nicholas Hoult really gets into this role. I've had lines that he delivers stuck in my head since I watched the movie because they were just delivered so well and something straight out of a comic book page. This is the version of Lex Luthor I can imagine running for president. Some other characters that I liked, even if they weren't in as much of the movie as I kind of expected by marketing, was the Justice Gang characters, Green Lantern, Hawk Girl, and Mr. Terrific. I guess I'll start by saying Hawk Girl was not my favorite, but I totally do not blame that character or that actress at all. She's just really not in the movie as much as the other two. but I cannot deny that there was a great moment near the end with her. The other two, though, GL and Terrific, I totally enjoyed. I think they provide a great contrast to Superman. Mr. Terrific is more kind of gruff and emotionless, and Green Lantern is very jokey. He's basically the comic relief. I totally wouldn't mind seeing either of these guys in spin-off movies. More than anything, Mr. Terrific's action scene is just the best in the whole movie. The fights in general, though, are all really fun. I think they also use their power sets in really creative ways, especially in the latter half of the movie. I was like, oh, that's such a creative use of that character. The fact that it made flying kind of a cool power, they made it feel so fast and dynamic and fun. Another big thing that a lot of people are interested in this movie is Crypto. I don't really have super much to say, but I do like Crypto a ton. Like a lot of elements in this, it is totally silly and out there, but it's done with such a tone and reverence that it's kind of hard to not like it, or at least appreciate it. Overall, I had a totally solid time at the theater. It was a great way to fully kick off this new DC universe. I do plan on going back and reviewing the Creature Commandos animated show for this channel, so I won't get into that at all. But I do think I prefer Superman and find it to be a more fitting start, and I don't really think anybody would disagree with that either. I think if I were to rate this, being fair, removing recency bias, adding my little problems into it, I think I'd give it an 8 out of 10. It just feels like a movie made for me. I really just appreciate where its heart is at, that it's so friendly and hopeful. By the time this video comes out, I will literally be in the theater watching this again, and I think that says something. I am really positive on this one. Thank you all so much for listening to me ramble on this movie for however long this ends up being. Plan on being back here soon with some more videos. As mentioned, I'd like to review Creature Commandos. I think that could be kind of fun. I'll rewatch that sometime. And there's a new Fantastic Four movie coming out in 2 weeks. And if you know me, you know I am a major Fantastic Four fan, so that better be goddamn good. And I'd love to do some Mortal Kombat focused videos. I've had one in the pipeline for a while where I go back to the 1992 game and rank all the fatalities. So if you're interested in anything like that, not pressuring any activity, but I'm totally open to ideas, so feel free to recommend anything. You can check out my Letterboxd, which by the time I post this will be fresh and opened, and you can view all sorts of activity on that. I'll see you all next time. Have a wonderful day.